Welcome back to Rare CoinX PRO, where we explore the hidden stories, history, and collecting value behind American coins. Every coin carries a journey that connects history, craftsmanship, and the people who used it throughout the years. On this channel, we discover what makes coins interesting by looking at their background, design, condition, metal composition, collector demand, market value, and important tips that help collectors recognize better examples. Today, we are exploring a Roosevelt dime from the 1990s that represents an important era of modern American coin production. So, let's begin our first coin. Today's featured coin is the 1994 Roosevelt dime 10 cent, struck at the Denver Mint and identified by the D Mint mark. This coin belongs to the long-running Roosevelt dime series, a collection that has remained one of the most popular modern United States coin series among collectors. Although this dime was produced for everyday circulation, well-preserved examples continue to attract attention because of their quality, design, and connection to American history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The United States Mint created this coin as a tribute to a leader who guided the country through some of its most challenging moments, including the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's connection with the March of Dimes organization, which helped fight polio, gave the coin an additional historical meaning that made it unique among American coins. The front of the 1994 Roosevelt dime 10 cent D features the detailed portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. Around the portrait are the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1994. The design captures Roosevelt's recognizable appearance and continues the artistic tradition that has represented the dime denomination for generations. The reverse side of the coin features the famous Roosevelt dime symbols. A torch stands in the center, representing liberty, while an olive branch represents peace and an oak branch represents strength. Around these symbols are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime. Together, these elements create a design filled with national symbolism and historical meaning. The Denver Mint produced the 1994 Roosevelt dime, and the small D Mint mark identifies its origin. Denver has been one of America's most important coin-producing facilities, creating large quantities of circulation coins used throughout the country. For collectors, the mint mark is an essential detail because it helps identify the exact production source of each coin. The 1990s were an interesting period for United States coin collectors. Traditional designs like the Roosevelt dime continued to circulate, but the hobby was becoming increasingly focused on condition, preservation, and finding examples with exceptional quality. Modern coins were receiving more attention as collectors realized that even newer issues could become desirable when preserved in outstanding condition. When examining a 1994 Roosevelt dime 10 cent D, condition is one of the most important factors. Since these coins were produced for daily transactions, many examples experienced years of circulation. Common signs of use include scratches, contact marks, surface wear, and reduced original shine. The highest points of Roosevelt's portrait and the details of the reverse design often reveal how much handling a coin has experienced. Collectors searching for better examples look for coins with strong original characteristics. A premium 1994 Denver Roosevelt dime may display bright mint luster, smooth surfaces, clear lettering, and sharp details. Coins that maintain their original appearance are more attractive because they provide a closer look at the craftsmanship created during the minting process. The 1994 Roosevelt dime 10 cent D follows the standard specifications of modern Roosevelt dimes. The coin weighs 2.27 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and is made from a copper-nickel clad composition over a copper core. This durable material allowed the dime to remain strong during circulation while keeping production costs practical for the United States Mint. Another important feature collectors study is strike quality. During production, differences in dies and striking pressure can create variations among coins. Some examples show sharper details in Roosevelt's hair, facial features, and the torch design on the reverse. A stronger strike can increase a coin's visual appeal because it displays the design more clearly. Collector demand for the 1994 Roosevelt dime 10 cent D mainly comes from Roosevelt dime enthusiasts who build complete date and mint collections. Many collectors enjoy searching for every combination produced by the United States Mint, making this Denver issue an important part of a complete set. While common examples are easy to find, high-quality pieces require more careful searching. This coin also represents the everyday history of America during the mid-1990s. Millions of people used these dimes in stores, vending machines, and daily transactions. Each surviving example carries a connection to that period, making it more than just a piece of metal. For collectors, coins like this provide a small window into the past. The current market value of the 1994 Roosevelt dime 10-cent D depends on condition, grade, strike quality, and collector demand. A circulated example generally has a value of around $4,000 to $8,800. Better quality uncirculated examples may sell between $15,000 and $22,000. Professionally graded coins with exceptional surfaces, strong strikes, and high mint state grades can reach $27,000, $50,000, $98,000 or more depending on certification and market interest. Coins with verified mint errors, rare varieties, or unusual characteristics may attract significantly higher premiums because collectors often compete for unique examples. For collectors who discover a 1994 Roosevelt dime, protecting its condition should be the first priority. The coin should be stored in a proper holder and handled carefully by the edges to avoid fingerprints and surface damage. Cleaning or polishing should always be avoided because original surfaces are one of the most valuable features of collectible coins. One of the best lessons for collectors is understanding that value is not always determined by age alone. A modern coin can become interesting because of its condition, rarity, or special characteristics. Taking time to study details, compare examples, and learn grading basics can greatly improve a collector's ability to recognize quality coins. The 1994 Roosevelt dime 10-cent D represents the continuation of a historic American tradition. It carries the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint, and the timeless design that has remained popular for decades. While it began as an ordinary circulation coin, its history and collector interest make it an enjoyable piece for anyone who appreciates United States coinage. Now, let's continue with our second coin. Today's featured coin is the 1996 Roosevelt dime 10-cent, produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This coin represents an important period in modern United States coinage when traditional designs continued to be used while collectors became increasingly interested in the quality and preservation of newer coins. Although millions of these dimes entered circulation, carefully preserved examples still attract attention from collectors who appreciate the Roosevelt dime series. The Roosevelt dime has been a symbol of American history since its introduction in 1946. The coin was created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, whose leadership during the Great Depression and World War II left a lasting impact on the nation. His involvement with the March of Dimes campaign also created a unique connection between this coin and the fight against polio. The 1996 Roosevelt dime 10-cent P continues the familiar design that collectors have admired for generations. The obverse of the coin displays Roosevelt's portrait facing left, showing the detailed engraving created by the United States Mint. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1996. This classic design connects the coin to decades of American coin-making tradition. The reverse side of the dime features the famous symbolic arrangement of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch represents peace, and the oak branch represents strength. The inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and one dime complete the reverse design and give the coin its recognizable appearance. The Philadelphia Mint produced this issue, and collectors identify it as a Philadelphia coin. During the 1990s, regular Philadelphia circulation coins were produced without a visible mint mark. This is an important detail for collectors because understanding mint production helps organize complete Roosevelt dime collections correctly. The year 1996 was part of a period when modern coin collecting was becoming more focused on quality rather than just age. Collectors were paying closer attention to coins with exceptional surfaces, strong strikes, and attractive appearance. This change helped increase interest in many modern circulation coins, including Roosevelt Dimes from the 1990s. When examining a 1996 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent p, condition is one of the most important factors that determines collector interest. Since these coins were made for everyday use, many examples show signs of circulation. Common issues include contact marks, small scratches, dull surfaces, and wear on the highest points of Roosevelt's portrait and the reverse symbols. Collectors searching for better quality examples focus on coins with original mint characteristics. A well-preserved 1996 Philadelphia Roosevelt dime may display bright luster, smooth fields, sharp lettering, and clear details throughout the design. These qualities make a coin more attractive because they show that it has been protected from heavy use. The specifications of the 1996 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent p follow the standard modern dime format. The coin weighs 2.27 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition over a copper core. This durable material became the standard for modern dimes after the United States Mint moved away from silver compositions. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality. The strength of the strike can influence how clearly the design appears on the finished coin. Some examples show sharper details in Roosevelt's hair, facial features, and the reverse torch design. Coins with stronger strikes often have better visual appeal and can receive more attention from collectors. The Philadelphia Mint has a long history of producing important American coins, and the 1996 Roosevelt dime is another example of its continued role in United States coin production. Philadelphia issues from this era represent a major part of modern coin collections and are often included by collectors building complete Roosevelt dime sets. Collector demand for the 1996 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent p mainly comes from enthusiasts who collect Roosevelt dimes by date and mint. Many collectors enjoy completing full collections that include every year of production. While this coin is common in ordinary circulated condition, finding examples with excellent preservation can be a rewarding challenge. The 1990s also represent an interesting chapter in American daily life. Coins like the 1996 Roosevelt dime were used across the country in everyday purchases, vending machines, and transactions. Each surviving coin carries a small connection to that period and represents a piece of modern American history. The current market value of the 1996 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent p depends on condition, grade, strike quality, and collector interest. A circulated example generally has a value of around $4,000 to $9,000. Better preserved uncirculated examples may sell between $15,000 and $25,000. Professionally graded coins with outstanding surfaces, strong strikes, and high mint state grades can reach $33,000, $60,000, $110,000 or more depending on certification, rarity, and market demand. Coins with verified mint errors, unusual varieties, or exceptional characteristics may command higher prices because collectors often seek unique examples. For collectors who own this coin, preservation is extremely important. Keeping the dime in a protective holder, avoiding direct contact with the surface, and protecting it from moisture will help maintain its quality. Cleaning the coin should be avoided because natural surfaces and original mint appearance are highly valued. A helpful tip for collectors is to examine every coin carefully instead of judging it only by its age. Modern coins can become desirable because of condition, production quality, or unusual features. Learning how to identify strong strikes, clean surfaces, and attractive examples is one of the most valuable skills a collector can develop. The 1996 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent p represents the continuation of a historic American coin series into the modern era. It carries the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the tradition of the Philadelphia Mint, and a design that has remained familiar to Americans for generations. For collectors who appreciate modern United States coins, this dime remains an interesting and meaningful addition. Now, let's continue with our third coin. Today's featured coin is the 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent, produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This coin represents the final years of the 20th century and carries the traditional design that Americans had trusted for more than 5 decades. As collectors look back at coins from the late 1990s, issues like the 1999 Roosevelt Dime remain interesting because they represent the closing chapter of an important era before the new millennium began. The Roosevelt Dimes series has been a permanent part of American coin history since 1946. The coin was created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's leadership during major historical events and his connection with the March of Dimes organization made him one of the most meaningful figures ever featured on United States coinage. The 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P continues the classic design that collectors have recognized for generations. On the obverse side, the coin displays the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left. The engraving captures his familiar appearance, while the surrounding inscriptions include Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1999. This design represents the continuation of a tradition that began more than 50 years earlier. The reverse side features the well-known Roosevelt Dime symbols. A torch stands in the center, representing liberty, while an olive branch and oak branch surround it as symbols of peace and strength. The inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and one dime complete the design and create one of the most recognizable reverses in modern American coinage. The Philadelphia Mint produced the 1999 Roosevelt Dime, and this issue is identified as a Philadelphia coin. During this time period, regular Philadelphia circulation coins were produced without a visible mint mark. For collectors, this information is important because mint identification helps organize complete collections and understand where each coin was produced. The year 1999 holds special historical interest because it was the final year before the beginning of the new millennium. American coins from this period represent the end of the 20th century and the transition into a new era. Collectors often enjoy these coins because they connect traditional designs with an important moment in time. When evaluating a 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P, condition is one of the most important factors. Since these coins were produced for circulation, many examples experienced years of use. Common signs include surface marks, small scratches, reduced luster, and wear on the highest points of Roosevelt's portrait and the reverse symbols. Collectors searching for high-quality examples look for coins that have maintained their original mint appearance. A premium 1999 Philadelphia Roosevelt Dime may show strong luster, clean surfaces, sharp details, and clear lettering. These features can make a significant difference because collectors value coins that display strong visual appeal. The 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P follows the standard specifications of modern Roosevelt dimes. The coin weighs 2.27 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition over a copper core. This durable construction allowed the coin to remain useful in circulation while maintaining the traditional appearance of the dime denomination. One of the most important areas collectors study is strike quality. During production, differences in dies and striking pressure can affect the final appearance of individual coins. Some examples show stronger details in Roosevelt's portrait, sharper lettering, and clearer reverse symbols. Coins with better strikes often receive more attention from collectors. The late 1990s were also an important time for modern coin collectors because interest was growing in high-grade circulation coins. Instead of focusing only on older coins, many collectors began searching for newer coins with exceptional preservation, unusual characteristics, or strong mint quality. Collector demand for the 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P mainly comes from Roosevelt Dime enthusiasts who build complete collections. Collectors who want every year and mint issue include this coin as an important part of their sets. While normal circulated examples are common, finding coins with outstanding condition can be more challenging. This dime also represents everyday American life at the end of the 20th century. Millions of people use these coins in daily transactions, and each surviving example carries a small connection to that time period. For collectors, even common circulation coins can become meaningful when they represent a specific moment in history. The current market value of the 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P depends on condition, grade, strike quality, and collector interest. A circulated example generally has a value of around $10,000 to $12,000. Better quality uncirculated examples may sell between $15,000 and $27,000. Professionally graded coins with exceptional surfaces, strong strikes, and high mint state grades can reach $30,000, $70,000, $120,000 or more depending on certification and market demand. Verified mint errors, special varieties, or unusual examples can attract higher premiums because collectors often compete for unique coins. For collectors who find a 1999 Roosevelt dime, proper storage is essential. Keeping the coin in a protective holder helps prevent scratches and environmental damage. Collectors should avoid cleaning or polishing because original surfaces are often more valuable than an altered appearance. A great collecting habit is learning how to recognize quality rather than focusing only on the date. Two coins from the same year can have completely different levels of appeal depending on their preservation, strike strength, and surface condition. Careful examination helps collectors discover better examples and improve their collections. The 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P represents the closing years of a historic century of American coin production. It carries the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the craftsmanship of the Philadelphia Mint, and the timeless design that has remained popular for generations. For collectors who appreciate modern United States coins, this dime remains a fascinating piece of history. Now, let's continue with our fourth coin. Today's featured coin is the 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent, struck at the Denver Mint and identified by the D Mint mark. This coin comes from the final year of the 1990s and represents the closing chapter of a century filled with changes in American coin production. While it was created as a regular circulation coin, collectors continue to appreciate this issue because of its connection to the end of an era, its classic design, and the possibility of finding exceptional examples. The Roosevelt dime has remained one of America's most recognizable coins since its introduction in 1946. The series was created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's impact on American history, especially during the Great Depression and World War II, made him a respected figure to feature on a circulating coin. His connection with the March of Dimes organization also gave this dime a unique historical background. The 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent D continues the traditional design that has represented the dime denomination for decades. The obverse side features Roosevelt's portrait facing left, showing the detailed engraving that has become familiar to collectors. The inscriptions surrounding the portrait include Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1999, marking this coin as one of the final issues before the new millennium. The reverse side of the coin carries the symbolic design of a torch surrounded by an olive branch and oak branch. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch represents peace, and the oak branch represents strength. Around these symbols are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime, creating a design that combines beauty with national meaning. The Denver Mint produced this issue, and the small D Mint mark identifies where the coin was made. Denver has played a major role in producing United States circulation coins for generations. For collectors, the mint mark is an important identifying feature because it separates Denver issues from coins produced at other facilities. The year 1999 is especially interesting because it marked the end of the 20th century. Coins from this year represent the final stage of an era before the introduction of the new millennium and many changes in American collecting. For some collectors, late-century coins have additional appeal because they capture a specific moment in time. When examining a 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent D, condition is one of the most important elements. Because these coins were released into circulation, many examples show the effects of everyday use. Contact marks, scratches, worn surfaces, and reduced original shine are common among circulated pieces. Collectors searching for higher quality examples focus on coins that still display their original mint characteristics. A premium 1999 Denver Roosevelt dime may show bright luster, smooth surfaces, strong lettering, and excellent design details. The clarity of Roosevelt's portrait and the sharpness of the reverse symbols can greatly influence the coin's overall appeal. The 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent D follows the standard specifications of modern Roosevelt dimes. The coin weighs 2.27 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition over a copper core. This composition became the standard for modern dimes after the United States moved away from traditional silver coin production. Strike quality is another important factor collectors consider. The minting process can create differences between individual coins, and some examples may show sharper details than others. Coins with stronger strikes often display clearer features on Roosevelt's portrait, the torch, and the surrounding branches. Collector demand for the 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent D comes mainly from collectors who build complete Roosevelt dime collections. Many enthusiasts search for every year and mint combination, making this Denver issue an important part of a complete set. Although ordinary examples are common, finding coins with exceptional preservation requires careful searching. This coin also carries the story of everyday American life at the end of the 1990s. These dimes traveled through stores, homes, businesses, and communities across the country. Each surviving example represents a small piece of that period and gives collectors a connection to the past. The current market value of the 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent D depends on condition, grade, strike quality, and collector interest. A circulated example generally has a value of around $8,000 to $10,000. Better quality uncirculated examples may sell between $15,000 and $23,000. Professionally graded examples with exceptional surfaces, strong strikes, and top mint state grades can reach $29,000, $33,000, $56,000 or more depending on certification and market demand. Verified mint errors, rare varieties, or unusual examples may command higher premiums because collectors often compete for coins with special characteristics. For collectors who own this dime, protecting its condition should be a priority. The coin should be stored in a proper holder and handled carefully to avoid fingerprints and scratches. Cleaning the surface can damage its collectible appeal, so maintaining the original appearance is always recommended. A valuable lesson for collectors is that every coin deserves careful examination. Even common circulation coins can become interesting when they show excellent preservation, strong production quality, or unusual features. Developing the ability to recognize these differences is one of the most important skills in coin collecting. The 1999 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent D represents the final years of 20th-century American coinage and continues the legacy of one of the nation's most respected designs. It carries the history of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint, and the story of a coin series that has remained popular for generations. Now, let's continue with our fifth and final coin. Today's featured coin is the 2000 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent, produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This coin represents the beginning of a new century while continuing one of the longest-running and most recognizable designs in United States coin history. As America entered the year 2000, the Roosevelt dime continued its role as an everyday circulation coin, but collectors began paying even closer attention to condition, preservation, and special characteristics that could make certain examples more desirable. The Roosevelt Dimes series has a remarkable connection with American history. First introduced in 1946, the coin was created to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt guided the nation through some of its most challenging moments, including the Great Depression and World War II. His connection with the March of Dimes organization, which worked to fight polio, gave this coin a special purpose beyond ordinary currency. The 2000 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P continues the famous design that collectors have recognized for more than half a century. The obverse of the coin displays Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait facing left. The detailed engraving shows Roosevelt's facial features, while the surrounding inscriptions include Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 2000. This design connects the beginning of a new millennium with a tradition that started decades earlier. The reverse side of the coin features the classic Roosevelt dime symbols. A torch stands in the center, representing liberty, while an olive branch and oak branch represent peace and strength. Around the design are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 dime. These symbols reflect important American values and complete the traditional appearance of the coin. The Philadelphia Mint produced this issue, and the coin was released without a visible mint mark. Philadelphia has been one of the most important facilities in United States coin production since the earliest days of the nation. For collectors, understanding Philadelphia issues is important because these coins often form the foundation of complete date collections. The year 2000 holds special significance because it marked the beginning of a new century. Coins from this year represent a transition between the 20th and 21st centuries. For collectors, this gives the 2000 Roosevelt Dime additional historical interest because it represents the continuation of an old design during a new era. When examining a 2000 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P, collectors first consider the overall condition. Because these coins were produced for circulation, many examples show signs of everyday use. Common circulated examples may have contact marks, scratches, reduced luster, and wear on the highest points of the design. Higher quality examples are much more attractive to collectors. A premium 2000 Philadelphia Roosevelt Dime may display strong original luster, clean surfaces, sharp lettering, and excellent details. The portrait of Roosevelt and the reverse torch design are carefully examined because these areas reveal the strength of the strike and the quality of preservation. The 2000 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P follows the standard specifications used for modern Roosevelt dimes. The coin weighs 2.27 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and is made from a copper-nickel clad composition over a copper core. This durable material allowed the dime to continue serving as everyday money while maintaining the familiar appearance of American coinage. Strike quality is another important factor that can influence collector interest. During production, differences in dies and striking pressure can create variations between coins. Some examples may show sharper details, clearer lettering, and stronger design elements. These coins often receive more attention because they better display the craftsmanship of the mint. The beginning of the 2000s was also a period when modern coin collecting continued to grow. More collectors began searching for high-grade examples of newer coins, recognizing that condition could create value even in coins that were not extremely old. The 2000 Roosevelt Dime is a good example of how modern coins can become interesting collector pieces. Collector demand for the 2000 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P mainly comes from Roosevelt Dime collectors who build complete collections by year and mint. Many enthusiasts want examples from every production year, making this coin an important part of a full Roosevelt Dime set. While normal examples are common, premium quality coins are much harder to find. This dime also represents everyday life at the start of the new millennium. Millions of people use these coins in daily transactions, carrying them through stores, businesses, and communities across America. Every surviving example tells a small part of that history and connects collectors with the beginning of a new century. The market value of the 2000 Roosevelt Dime 10-cent P depends on condition, grade, strike quality, and collector demand. A circulated example generally has a value of around $3,300 to $9,800. Better preserved uncirculated examples may sell between $15,000 and $27,000. Professionally graded examples with exceptional surfaces, strong strikes, and top mint state grades can reach $34,000, $43,000, $78,000 or more depending on certification, rarity, and market competition. Coins with verified mint errors, unusual varieties, or exceptional characteristics may command significantly higher premiums because collectors often search for unique examples. For collectors who discover a 2000 Roosevelt Dime, preservation is extremely important. The coin should be placed in a protective holder and kept away from moisture, chemicals, and unnecessary handling. Collectors should avoid cleaning the coin because original surfaces are highly valued and can greatly affect collectible appeal. One of the most important lessons in coin collecting is learning that every coin has potential when examined carefully. A common-looking dime may contain special qualities that are not immediately visible. Strong strikes, beautiful surfaces, and unusual production features can turn an ordinary circulation coin into an interesting collectible discovery.